Good Monday morning. As we enter the story this week in Genesis chapter 25, Abraham has just died, and both his boys, Isaac and Ishmael, have buried him. And then we find Isaac and his wife Rebekah entering a new part of their story. It said that Rebekah couldn't have children. She was barren. And it says this in verse 21, and Isaac prayed to the Lord for his wife because she was barren, and the Lord granted his prayer, and Rebekah, his wife, conceived. So then it says the children struggled within her womb, and she said, if it is thus, why is this happening to me? So she went to inquire of the Lord, and the Lord said to her, 2 nations are in your womb, and 2 peoples from within you shall be divided. The one shall be stronger than the other, and the older shall serve the younger. Now, we're going to come back to this in a minute, but I want to go back to this one section, or this follow-up section. So she gives birth to twin boys, and the first comes out red. All his body is like a hairy cloak, so they called his name Esau. Afterward, his brother came out with his hand holding Esau's heel, so his name was called Jacob. Isaac was 60 years old when she bore him. When the boys grew up, Esau was a skillful hunter, a man of the field, while Jacob was a quiet man dwelling in tents. Isaac loved Esau because he ate of his game, but Rebekah loved Jacob. Now, don't forget this part that Isaac had more of a propensity towards Esau and Rebekah had more of a propensity to Jacob, because this will come to us again later when we enter the story of Jacob and Joseph. So very interesting to watch family dynamics and how they will set us up for things down the road. But the part that I wanted to focus on in this is what it says here: the one shall be stronger than the other, and the older shall serve the younger. This is really interesting because this is not how things normally happened. The order of birth was very important in Scripture and in Israel culture. And the blessing was given to the older, a greater blessing than the younger. And so you didn't have the older boy serving the younger boy. That just didn't happen. But this is a picture of a divine setup, because the Messiah was going to come from Jacob. Jesus was going to come from the lineage of Jacob, not of Esau. And so what this reminds me, and again, we're always trying to take Scripture and apply it to our own stories and our own lives, is that just because something looks like it should go one way doesn't mean that God isn't working when it goes another. It's just a simple truth in our stories. It's a simple reminder back to Isaiah 55 verses 7 and 8, or 8 and 9. His ways are not our ways. His thoughts are not our thoughts. They're past finding out. There was something much bigger than Jacob and Esau going on in this struggle. Something much bigger. It was the delivering of a Messiah. Friends, there may be things happening in your life right now that you don't understand, don't really make a lot of sense. And if you could, you'd probably do it another way. But what I want to encourage you today is that if we will submit our lives to the Lord, then we give Him full access to do things that may not look normal, typical, or even like we want. But we can trust that He is working for a larger story, a bigger picture, and a better ending. His ways are not our ways. His thoughts are not our thoughts. They're past finding out. But what I can assure you of is when we are His, they are